Hi, I'm Dr. Bertice Berry. My daughter was dating a guy and he wanted to tell her, I love you, but he was afraid that it was a little too soon. He told her that, and she said, well, I was just waiting because, convention. She said, but in truth, I grew up with I love yous. My mother says, I love you to the man at the gas station. I do. There's a reason for that. My editor, Janet Hill, who's brilliant, amazing jewelry designer, incredible. She says when a person dies, a library closes, and I believe that it's our job to keep that library open. Elliott Rudwick is a scholar among scholars. He is well known in the field of Black studies. In fact, when it comes to studying civil unrest and civil rights and those social movements, he is the guy that started doing all of that. If you look up any of his work, please look at the riots of East St. Louis. It was considered the most heinous race massacres of this time. Over 250 people were lynched, raped, murdered, brutalized, and it was economically based. He was the first to make the connection between race and economics, between race hatred and economics. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant scholar. When I first took his class, he had us read 6 books a week. He's the reason why I was always reading 6 books a week. And he would give you a quiz on one of them, and you didn't know which one was going to have the quiz. But these were books, not little pamphlets. They were books. And the first quiz, I got a C, and I went to see him, and I said, I don't know why I got a C. And he looked at it, and he said, yeah, you should have been a D. And I said, no, I'm not criticizing your grading. I just want to know what I did so that I can know and do better the next time. And I really want to know what it is. And he looked at it again and he said, look, you've given me every date. You've given me every fact. You told me the names of everybody involved. But what color were they wearing? What was the day like? Was it rainy? Was it dewy? What was in the hearts and minds of the people? He said, history comes alive when we really tell the stories. You have to tell these people's story. And it was like I was being given a gift. Most scholarship requires facts, figures, dates, data. And Dr. Rudwick was saying that the life and the breath of history and the research is in that story. And I was like, yes, I'm living for this. From then on, I was his top student. And even after we were taking classes together, I was in his class, I would go and try to study under him and find out anything. And I didn't know anything about his status and how world-renowned he was. I just knew he was this brilliant man that I wanted to learn from. And I would always try to get to the office before he did. And I'd get there at 6 in the morning and he'd be there, walking the hall, silently reading papers. And I'd get to the office at 5 and he'd be there. I'd get to the office at 4, he was there. And then years later, I discovered that he was sleeping in his office. But he went into research, particularly the East St. Louis riots, and he spent years covering what amounted to 45 minutes. He wanted to make sure that he really told these stories and told them well. One year at Christmas, I was going to spend Carnival with my friends in St. Croix, and I had a card for him telling him how he had changed my life, how his approach to the study of Black history, even though he was a white man, was really important to my life, and that it was changing the way I saw the world and made connections. I was in a hurry and I thought, I don't have time. And something said, no, go take him the card. And I didn't. I didn't know that he struggled with depression. And when I got back from holiday, he was gone. I don't want to ever again miss an opportunity to tell someone that I love them. I don't want to miss an opportunity to tell someone that they've changed my life. Telling everybody that they've made a difference doesn't make it less significant. It makes the fact that everybody's lovable much more true. That we all have contributions, that our work is meaningful, that his study of my history is my study of his history. We have to begin to see the connectedness of our lives. That I need you and you need me. Take a moment today and look up Elliott Rudwick. Look up his work. His obituary was in the New York Times. I was the only student to get to speak at his memorial. And I didn't know how much he loved me. His partner gave me his books, and I have them now. We have to keep these libraries open. We have to tell these stories. We have to tell about the lives of people who make a difference. And I need you to know that I love you. It's the ugly cry today. I love you.